Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Studios series Rise of the Beasts Terrorcon Freezer. We're going to go ahead and put them off to the side real quick and look at this box, which is a core class box. So yeah, you get the little spine thing. You got this to the Terrorcon symbol and Rise of the Beasts logo and Transformers and Hasbro and his name and all this stuff up here. You have, of course, his picture in CG. You have a CG picture right there in the core class and all that stuff. On this side, you have the same CG picture and authentic. On the bottom, you have the copyrights and the barcode. And on the back, of course, you have warnings and product shots and, yeah, what he turns into. And inside, which is kind of neat, yeah, of course, you have the, there's no base display, but you have a, inside of apparently a museum. That's the thing. You also have instructions, which, yeah, they're mostly helpful. There's a couple spots where it's like, wait, what? Because I think there's a couple things that kind of get things backwards in the instructions, although you can kind of figure it out considering it's a core class. But anyway, Freezer. Can actually lower the camera a little bit more. Yeah, Freezer here. He is a Terrorcon, and yeah, he is one of the two core classes, first core classes for Rise of the Beasts, and he is definitely a thing. But yeah, you can see there he's got this big old screamy four-eyed face thing, kind of reminiscent of Frenzy to a degree from the first movie. You got, yeah, it's kind of a pseudo rib cage. There is a nice, I guess, a kind of nice finish on this thing a little bit. It's kind of very skeletal looking. As you can see, he's also got 4 arms. He's almost like a rusty skeleton. That's what I would go with, yeah. But yeah, he's got like 4 arms, which are kind of neat. You know, that's kind of neat. He's got the kind of you know, the chicken leg kind of thing going on. For the most part, yeah, he's got a bit of a backpack, which, you know, has actually got some detailing on it as well, and so on and so forth. His feet are pretty much gray. Yeah, it's just kind of browns and grays for the most part. Yeah, so here's the thing. I actually kind of like the robot mode. You know, mostly because I just like kind of this little 4-armed gremlin man. So like, I'm kind of cool with that. I do generally kind of like what they're going for. It's a little unique to have the 4 arms like this, and yeah, I think that part's kind of neat. Unfortunately, there's a couple of problems, but yeah, he's all right. He's kind of cool looking like this. So the thing is, yeah, his articulation, he's kind of on a ball joint, but because of how it's positioned for robot mode, you kind of have all up and down, and you have a twisting side to side, and you don't really have you kind of can look him left and right a little bit, but not a whole lot. He's down and limited, and you could use this transformation joint to kind of make him, you know, kind of, I guess, taller. He does have ball jointed shoulders right there. Full spin there. You have ball jointed elbow, so you got the bend plus the swivel. Same with the lower arms. Ball jointed shoulders, so, you know, got forward and back and outward and all that stuff. And you got the bend and the swivel. And unfortunately, on this is a very common issue with the lower forearm or the lower arms on the elbows. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how you can see that, but that's a crack, and it's not really bad on this one. You can see this is the crack right there. They just have a tendency to crack so shortly after you start moving. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if it's the ball joint's too big for the socket or what, but yeah, eventually the sockets for on the lower elbows just crack eventually. Seems to be the only real problem. It isn't. I put a little bit of glue in there just to kind of help them hold together. But yeah, it's unfortunate that that's even a thing at all, and it seems to be incredibly common. On top of that, the upper shoulders are incredibly loose compared to the lower shoulders, which are actually fairly solid. So I don't know. Down here at the waist, you have nothing rotation-wise, but you do have ball joints at the hip, so you got forward and back and outward and all that stuff, and a little bit of rotation there. This is not really a knee at all. This doesn't move. This is one piece, but this can move forward and back and side to side because it's also a ball joint. And these are on ball joints. So you got, you know, some back, a little tiny bit of forward, and a little bit of swivel and a little bit of tiltage. And there's your lot for articulation. Now, the other thing about this guy is he's clearly, they even call down the instruction, he's kind of supposed to be more or less a companion to Scourge, which I do not have, and most people don't yet. So we'll do a full review thing until that point. But he transforms into multiple things beyond this, so I guess could do that sort of thing, although they're kind of variations, the same thing. Anyway, first things first, to transform him, take this hinge up here and straighten out his head and just kind of bring it like that. Take this piece, and you want to open that up, fold this out, then take the silver gun barrel thing and fold this through like that, and then bring this the rest of the way up and close this over top of the head like that, so it looks like that. Now, This is kind of the weird thing with the arms. So you want to bring these arms out like such a way that they you want to rotate this ball joint right here at this elbow, and this one you want to bring down like this, and right here this little tab right here on this elbow will go into this slot right here, and this is supposed to be kind of a stand for this gun emplacement of sorts. You kind of need to adjust these a little bit, but you'll eventually get to a point where you can find a spot where they'll sit nice. But they can be a little bit of a pain just because now you're dealing with multiple joints now kind of stuck together. But anyway, same thing on this side. Rotate this elbow around and then bring this one down and tab them together. And hopefully you can find a spot where they'll sit nice and not come untabbed very easily, which doesn't always line up with the other side either. And then this thing, you just kind of leave the legs like this, and there you go. That's a gun. Not a lot can use it at this size. I mean, it's so low to the ground, you'd think it'd be nice for like core figures, you know, kind of use like as a turret. But these are 5mm pegs, which most core figures don't have 5mm. Small spoiler for an upcoming review, I guess, but I guess you can do the kind of the lying down thing and just kind of that. I guess that works or something, but yeah, it's just kind of generally weird, and it's like I'm not sure what the purpose of that was, you know? It feels like something there's some sort of miscommunication at some point, and also because these ball joints aren't super great, it's easy for this all to get out of alignment too, but it's okay. It's okay looking as kind of a gun emplacement of sorts, but like maybe you're supposed to be sitting down, but any which way, it's kind of like one of those things that feels like something was lost in translation. Anyway, the next mode is take that and unpeg this, and then these we're gonna bring up and then rotate these around, and then bring these up, and these will tab. There's a tab here which will go into a slot on the legs like that. And same thing here, bring this up, rotate this around, bring this up, and this will tab in the leg, like so. And then bring these down like this, and then go. And then right here, what you want to do is take these the legs here. You take these, and there's little slots in here which are going up in these tabs right here, and just kind of compress the legs and feet down like this, and that's the gun mode, or next gun mode. I'm not sure what you call this thing, but apparently it can hook onto the back of Scourge's truck mode or something. I'm not sure if this is like supposed to sit like this, because it implies it's supposed to sit like this, but when you do, well, it just kind of falls backwards. Can't really do much like this either. Yay. Yeah, my understanding is this is supposed to kind of go over top of the back of Scourge's truck mode, so that's a thing. But yeah, one final gun mode, which you go ahead and bring these up, and let's see, where is it? Here it is. Right, you kind of rotate this elbow back, and right here there's a little tab right there, and this goes in this little notch right here. Sometimes it's not like, on mine in particular, does not like to cooperate with the whole, you know, actually not tabbing in and everything, does not want to go in that slot, which is annoying. There we go. That just went in there. And the same thing on this side. Rotate this elbow. Bring it over here and notch it in like so. And then down here, you want to, right here, there's a little thing. You get your fingernail on and flip this peg out. And, oop, that just came undone. Yeah. And there you go. That's the final gun mode, which is the handheld gun mode, which it seems like, again, it seems like it's supposed to be for Scourge. Again, do not have Scourge, but, you know, it's got 5mm peg, so you can take any figure and just, you know, peg it in. And it's kind of a weird looking gun thing, which is going to look a little weird in a lot of characters' arms, but probably might look fine as Scourge's hand, and yeah, there you go. So that's Freezer. I don't know. The thing about this guy is I kind of like the robot mode a bit, but he's got a really simple, but like his transformations are kind of simple, but they don't do much. I mean, you can tell it's just, a robot. Like it's just a robot all tabbed together. It's not really much going on here. And on top of that, again, the cracked elbows on the lower arms is just really frustrating. So it's like he doesn't do much transformation wise, and he doesn't look that much different from his robot mode self. So it's kind of hard to call it good, really. It's like you get to a point you're like, wait, that's it? Yeah, that's it. That's all it does. It doesn't change much else. And I don't know, maybe it'll be better with Scourge, but as a standalone figure, I can't really recommend it unless you just really want a little 4-arm gremlin man, I guess. But even then, it's like, it's hard to recommend because it's just not that interesting, and the cracking elbows thing is a problem. And honestly, there really isn't much to like about the character, the figure. It doesn't turn in, the alt modes aren't particularly good or interesting or anything, at least at this point. Particularly one of them just doesn't even seem to function at all. Maybe that will change. I'll hold my final idea about this guy until Scourge is out. I have him. Maybe he works really well with Scourge. I don't know. So as a standalone figure, no. As an accessory to Scourge, jury's still out. And that's all I can say really is, yeah, don't really expect a lot from this guy. And only maybe he'll be good with Scourge, but at this point I cannot recommend buying him. So that's it for this one. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. Check out my co-host, cohost.org/Nemesis-Prime. Check out my Coffee, my Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.